Hey, what up? It's Kool-Aid's back again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about how to rank up, and these tips will work for rookie through legendary. Doesn't matter what rank you are, this will work. Alright, so first step you want to take to ranking up is to avoid losing streaks. Now I know all of you have dealt with this, and you'll be ranking up, doing alright, grinding out for days, and then one day you'll hop out and lose 10, 20 straight, and then all that hard work you put in is gone. You want to avoid that. Because a lot of times, when you lose the most elo, it's literally just because of those giant losing streaks. So, I found all these strategies effective. These three I'm going to talk about. And the first one I did was play until one loss. It's pretty simple. You start playing ranked, and when you start playing, you say, alright, I'll play until I lose. And if you lose the first game, you're done. And if you win 10 in a row, and then you lose the 11th one, then you're done after that one. And that way, you don't lose more than just one game of elo, which really isn't too much. And that's if you really don't have too much time, or you don't want to lose elo or something. But another good rule that I use this one quite a bit: play until you hit back-to-back losses. Because normally if you're doing like win-loss, 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 even if you're playing well and still losing, you're still going to gain elo if you're going win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And it's always good, I think, to stop after 2 losses, because I mean, you know yourself best, but at least for me, after back-to-back losses, I'm pretty frustrated. Like, you lose probably one of the games, you get shit on, or even if they're both close games, or a game you're carrying and you lose. You know, like, you're angry either way when you lose, so it's probably better just to stop after back-to-back losses. But this third rule is my favorite one, and it's called the 3 life rule. I actually used this back in Rock League when I played, and that's how I got to Grand Champ then. So, what you want to do is you start with 3 lives. And every time you lose a game, you subtract 1 life. So it's technically a 3 life rule, 3 loss rule. But for every back-to-back win you get, you gain a life. So say I'm starting out and I lose 2 games in a row. I have 1 life left. Then I win back-to-back games. Then I bump it up back to 2 lives. And I use this the most for sure, especially in high masters, because when I'd be grinding out long hours to try and get to legendary, playing till 1 loss, like, you'd be playing sometimes, like, you're not going to win every game. You're going to play 1 game and you could just be done. But if you really want to rank up and grind out for hours, I think the 3 life rule is the best thing to work, because honestly, that's how I gain the most elo. And if you're really serious about ranking up, I think these 3 things will help you, especially this last one, the 3 life rule. Again, you have to start with 3 lives. You lose 1 life every time you lose a game, and the only way you gain 1 life is by winning back-to-back games. Alright, so here we are, step number 2. Don't blame your team. Now listen, I'm guilty of this too, probably everyone is. You've had that team and you've been like, man, this team is garbage, that's the reason I lost, I'm the only one positive on my team, blah blah blah. Well, guess what? How does blaming your teammates and pointing out their mistakes help you get better? It doesn't. That's just facts. It doesn't help you get better. So there's literally no point to blame your team, because you got to focus on yourself to improve, and blaming your team is the opposite of that, so you're never going to get better. And I've kind of looked at it this way. This is how I kind of look at it. A third of the games you play in ranked are going to be losses and you can't do anything about it. But a third of the games are also going to be free wins if you do well or not. So right there, you're 50-50, a third and a third. But I've also found that a third of the games are swing games. And this means that it could really go either way, and your role really does matter. Like a real close game, a team deathmatch where you lose 50-49. If you didn't like jump out that window in front of that guy, if you were a little more patient, you would have killed him, and that would have been the difference in the game. Like, you have to look at those tiny little mistakes to realize what you're doing wrong, because in those swing games, those are the games you have to win. Like a third, you're gonna have losses you can't win from. A third of your games are gonna be free wins. And the other third is one you have to focus on, are the swing games where it could go either way. Those are the games you need to win if you're going to rank up. Tip number 3, here we are. All right, watch your own replays. This one's important. Like, a lot of people space this one, just because it's so time consuming and extra. Like, people don't enjoy watching themselves. And you think, oh, how are you going to watch yourself and get better? Well, in the heat of a game, I don't really think about my mistakes that much. And if you go back and watch your game, you're going to be able to see things that you didn't notice you were doing. Like, go look at 3 of your games and look at every single time you die in those games and figure out what you did wrong. Most of the time for me, I'd go back in my games and realize I was jumping out in the open, or I'd take a gunfight when I was low, or I'd reload at a bad time. Like, you're not going to be able to realize why you died. You'll be reloading, turn that corner and be like, oh, there was a guy there, that's unlucky, you can't really do anything about that. But you can realize you're reloading in the replay. You notice you're reloading and you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't reload and walk through a door. Like, that's something you're going to notice when you're going back and watching the replays that you probably won't notice when you're actually in the heat of the moment. So honestly, this is one of the best ways to improve is go back and watch your replays and see what you're doing wrong, and then focus on fixing those for a few games. And if you do this, even just once a week, you fix one thing you're doing wrong, you'll improve and you'll see it and you will notice that it's actually helping. So tip number 4, here we are, watch better players. So this one's an important one. It kind of goes with watch your replays. So you gotta watch better players, like stream or their videos. Just watch whole games, entire games that these players are playing. And you got to see what they're doing at this higher rank, because that is what's stopping you from getting there, is you're not doing what they're doing. If you can mimic their gameplay, use their loadouts, use their gun setups, use their score streaks, and just like overall, just watch what they're doing and try and copy it to the best of your abilities, you're going to get better. Because they're the top players in the game, and if you are trying to mimic the top players in the game play, you're going to end up being better. Like, look at Kobe, rip. But he tried to mimic what Jordan was doing. He stole so many of Jordan's moves and ended up being one of the best players ever in basketball. That's just how it is. You try to copy the best players and then add your own little style onto it once you get there, and you will be a really, really good player. But remember, you can't just watch them for entertainment. You have to go watch full games and pay attention to little things they are doing that separates them from you. So tip number 5. Alright, so this one is play meta, and if you don't know what meta is, it stands for most effective tactic available, and this essentially just means you want to be using the best stuff in the game to give you the best chance to win. Because say if you're using like AK-117s and the Type 25 and the S36, and the other team is using the M4 and Chickums, like, you're going to have a lot better chance to win just because you're using better stuff. And this doesn't only go for guns. You got to use the best guns, the best perks, the best equipment, and the best score streaks. And a lot of times, if you don't know what the meta is, go watch some pro gameplay, like Little B, Godsley, even Ferg. Just watch some of their, or Ferg's top 10 guns or whatever. Just watch some of those videos and find out what the meta is, and you want to be using that kind of stuff. Because that's going to give you a huge advantage in games when you're running into people who aren't using that kind of stuff. And if you want to match up to the people who are really trying to get legendary and really trying to rank up, I guarantee you most of those people are going to be using the best stuff in the game, so you got to match them with the best stuff in the game as well. So step number 6. This one is don't type in chat. Now this one might seem a little weird, but at the same time it's important. So one thing typing in chat does is that it takes up game time. It's definitely a distraction. And a lot of it's just toxic garbage, so why even type into it anyway? Just feed the fire, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, I think you can, if you're gonna talk, you might as well just use the voice chat. If you're gonna talk, that just makes it a lot easier. You can play and talk a lot easier than you could play and type, because you don't have to stop your game. So that's one thing. But if you don't want to talk, like voice chat, you can really just use quick chats, like those little quick chats. You can edit them, and you can really, that's everything you need is those quick chats. You don't need anything else other than those quick chats to get to legendary. Trust me, I didn't really use I never quick chatted, I never talked, I never said anything. I played solo and I got there, so you guys can do it too. But just type in chat as little as you can, and you will see an improvement. Now this tip ties in real nicely to the last one I was talking about. This is tip number 7, don't be toxic. So this one's a very, very important actually, because I know it's really hard not to be toxic, but what is it helping? Like, what is being toxic really helping? Nothing. Because if you're flaming your teammates, all you're doing is making them angry, so they're probably going to be focusing on you, flaming back, so there's a distraction right there. They're not going to be playing as well, they're going to be focusing on you, not the game, and you're going to be focusing on them and not the game. And if you're being toxic, you're blaming your teammates, which means you're not looking at your own mistakes, you're looking at your teammates' mistakes. So how are you supposed to get better if you're looking at your teammates' mistakes and not your own? And flaming, like, you're probably not even looking at their mistakes, you're just straight up saying you're garbage, like you're not telling them why they're garbage, but don't do that either. But it would be a little better. But ain't no one want to play with you. Like, no one wants to play with you if you're flaming them. And it's a lot easier, probably, everyone says it's a lot easier to play with a group than play solos. I solo the legendary, like, it can be done, but it's probably easier with a group, like a solid group. So no one's gonna want to play with you if you're flaming your team or if you're flaming the other team, because it just shows you're incompatible with people, you know what I'm saying? And also, back to my first point, if you're flaming your teammate, they're just gonna get angry and play worse, so that makes your chance of winning even less. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not worth it. Flaming helps no one, so just abstain from it. Trust me, it'll work. You'll rank up if you're not toxic. Tip number 8, sleep and health. Now, a lot of you probably don't even think about this one, but sleep and health is very, very important. A lot of studies show if you get the sleep you need, like, your daily performance in literally everything is improved, and that's including video games. You know, like, you're gonna be more alert, and your reflexes are gonna be quicker, you won't be as irritated because you'll have better sleep, you'll have a clearer head. Like, there's just so many things that, like, getting enough sleep helps, you know? Like, I can go into a whole rant about this, but you need sleep. Like, it is the most important, in my opinion, physiological function of your entire body. It's where you form the most memories, like long-term memories. It's when your body recovers the fastest. It's the best for everything. And you're just going to be in a lot better mood also if you, and your gameplay is going to be better if you get enough sleep. So you might as well get sleep. And also, like, with the health part, good nutrition helps a lot too. Good nutrition with good sleep will really help your energy. And if you're playing when you're lethargic, you're not going to be as quick, you're not going to be thinking as clearly, so you're not going to be able to make those split-second decisions that you need to be making. So you're probably just not going to rank up as quickly, or you might not even rank up at all. And also with health, you need, like, I'd recommend exercise, because it just gives you something else to do. Because I know for me, at least, when I'm weightlifting consistently, when I'm doing that and playing games and I start doing badly on the game, I don't get as angry because I have something else going on. Like, I'm lifting weights, I'm doing that. It's not the only thing I'm doing. And it's satisfying outside of ranking up in this game. So even just an extra hobby would help. And, like, exercise would be a good break from the game. If you've been grinding out for hours and you're kind of getting tilted and irritated and frustrated with the game, and you notice you're not playing as well, go outside, shoot some hoops, take a walk, take a jog, take a bike ride, anything. Even just talk to someone, you know, like your family member or something if you have them. But get your blood flowing, get your mind off the game. When you come back, you'll feel refreshed and you'll be able to focus a lot better. So yeah, so this leads us into tip number 9. Have fun. Now, this might seem a little cheesy and cliche, but it's pretty important. I'm pretty sure most of us, if not all of us, started playing this game because it looked fun. We were having fun. We played against those bots at the beginning of the game and went like 20-0, so we felt insane. And it was a lot of fun, you know, playing COD, wherever you want to play. It's honestly the best mobile game I've played in a while, and the best Call of Duty I've played in a while. Because I hadn't played Call of Duty in years because I just didn't like it anymore, but this game got me back into it. And if you're having fun, you're going to want to get on and play. Once getting on and grinding seems like a chore, that's when you know that you're not going to get anywhere. Because if you're not enjoying the grind and you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're going to be more pessimistic about it. You're going to get mad a lot faster, and you're not going to have that drive or motivation to get up and play in the morning, you know? Like, once it starts feeling like a job, that's when you probably should quit, you know? But Also, if you just play for fun and trying to get better, you won't be focusing as much on the negative, you won't be getting as mad. And if you're focusing only on the points you're getting from ranked, that means you're only focusing on the wins and getting the wins, and you're not really focusing on improving. But if you're focusing on improving and then you master a skill and then you start using it in game and implementing it into your game, it becomes a muscle memory. That's really fun and exciting to see, and I think that adds a lot to wanting to play the game, you know? So overall, just have fun, don't take the game too seriously, and I think you'll play a lot better and you won't be as angry and mad over those losses and bad games. You won't blame yourself as much for stuff. You know, just, it's fun. Focus on improvement, take your time with it, have fun, and the wins and points will come with it. Trust me. Alright, the last tip, number 10, but this is the most important one, time. If you are not putting in hours into this game, you're not going to rank up. I mean, obviously you can rank up if you're not putting in hours, but you're not going to hit your potential and you're not going to hit the rank you can get to. If you want to get to legendary, like master or legendary, you have to dedicate a ridiculous amount of time to this game. I was hitting legendary. When I hit legendary, I was putting in at least 2 to 3 hours a day, at least, and that's not even that much time. Look at the top players. If you want to be number 1 or 2 or even top 10 on the leaderboard, you got to be putting in 8 to 12 hour days on this game. That is a lot of time. Like, if you don't even play daily, how do you expect to improve? You have to get good. The only way to get good, actually, is to put in hours daily, hours after hours. Because, frankly, if you're not getting that practice in, if you're not getting that work in, someone else is getting that work in, and you're going to meet them in a game, and they're going to beat you because they've been playing day after day after day, improving, and you've been playing every other day, if that, and you're kind of stagnating. Like, that's just how it is. If you aren't putting in the time, you're not going to see the results. And that's all I got. So, alright, thanks for watching. You should follow these tips, you really should. If you follow these tips, you will rank up. If you implement them in there, even if you implement like 5 out of 10, you'll still rank up faster than you are. But if you implement all 10, and you grind out and put in that time, the 10th is the most important. The time. Can't be stressed the most. But if you can't be stressed enough, I should have said. But if you're putting in the time and all those other 9 steps, you're gonna rank up. That's just how it is. If you put in enough of the time, you'll get to legendary. Trust me, it's hard, but never give up on the dream, dude. It can happen. I never thought I'd get there, but I got there. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you later, dudes.